Speaking truth to power. We've been speaking about truth, about how we respond to people in power, and what's our role, not as individuals, but as a community. Along with LT Jayachandran and Anand Pillai, we've been exploring this topic over several previous episodes. Today, we come to a very crucial topic, something that touches us every day and probably several times a day. That's about how do I arrive at the truth. I don't know about you, LT, but you know what? One of the things that I've begun to fear is forwards on WhatsApp. And every day you get several tens of them, depending on the number of groups you are, you don't know what to believe and what not to believe. So, as a person in the faith, how am I to respond to things that someone says about this has happened or that has happened?
No, well, I have the same problem. One thing I've done is, of course, I've muted all those groups so that I'm not disturbed. Secondly, I have decided to read WhatsApp only selectively and never forward WhatsApp.
Wow.
Never.
Well, I think you must tell that to our viewers.
Because, let me frankly, what we think, this is a huge problem. It's not just about forwards, it's not about fake news, it's not just about rumors. It is about the whole idea that a bit of information by itself will change the world for good or for ill. That is simply not true. That's why in an earlier episode I mentioned the word has to become flesh. And we have made the simple WhatsApp and all these information technology gimmicks as if they are communicating revolutionary truths. No. And as I said earlier again, they unfortunately influence your emotions negatively and therefore disqualify you from being a true Christian, truly praying for our fellow Indians, truly praying for the situations that plague our country. Okay. And instead of being fed with information which is half cooked.
Okay.
And in the book of Proverbs, you have this verse which says that the words of a gossip are like choice morsels which go down to the deepest part of the belly. A good gossip will never say something bad about somebody. He would say, LT is a good fellow, but. And the but will be left unfinished. And so you are going to fill up the blanks. And so you fill up whatever in order to come to the right conclusion about LT. And rumors are like that. And I think the government is worried about, people are worried about it. It is going to be destructive.
Absolutely.
And it actually is a violation of the 9th of the 10 commandments. It is bearing false witness about our neighbors. We don't take that very seriously.
You know what, I never gave it so much of a importance till you mention it this way, LT, because forwards are normal. We do them day in and day out. But when we look at it in the way you're saying it, it becomes very, very serious.
And also people take it seriously because I forwarded it, because they respect me and they add that same importance to the
message.
Message. So I have a policy which is a slight variation of what Brother LT has said. He has taken a decision not to forward at all. I do forward only on verification.
Okay.
Only on verification. But I am a silent member in most groups, and I am personally pained and deeply disturbed to see some of the groups forwarding and participating in discussions which defeats the primary purpose of our group. So if we are Christian professional and business people of India, look at the message. Wow. How is this adding to our primary purpose? I, for example, am a moderator of a group that is there in our society. Okay, this is the Residents Welfare Association. There is a whole lot of things. Somebody died and somebody this one, and some political party did this and all. I immediately write back to that person. I say, how is this message that you have forwarded to the group
relevant to this
is
group?
Relevant to the purpose of our group. The purpose of our group is to solve the community issues. If water is not coming, if electricity is not coming,
that's an issue to talk
about. Is the issue. This group was set up for a particular purpose. So if each administrator / moderator of a group, if he or she or these collective individuals check and put these guidelines, say, how is this in the interest of the group,
okay,
and therefore verified. That's the first thing. The second thing is what has happened. I myself have been guilty of spreading or communicating a message which was actually not true. I'll give you the example. Several years ago, or a few years ago, what happened, I was so enamored by this metaphor of leadership and the eagle that I, was really all over it.
Why don't you tell us a little more about it?
So what happens is the eagle reinvents itself, it breaks the beak, it takes away the claw, and it's a 180-day process and all that. It's a very emotional one, and then I go on to say that is the cost that you pay for reinventing yourself. It is painful and all that. And I had got a video forward in the WhatsApp, and I thought, wow, this is really nicely the eagle's rejuvenation and all that. And one of the members, who was actually an animal psychologist and physiologist, they said, no, the eagle doesn't go through. The person is an ornithologist. And I said, and they started believing because I said it. And I'm a position of authority.
You
and
almost
I said it
killed an eagle.
In the pulpit. Then I went back. And I verified the source. Yes, the eagle does renew itself. Yes, the eagle does take off those claws and things. But all of them is not simultaneous. What was said to me was 180 days the eagle fasts. That means it does not eat anything. It does not do anything. And people were all over the place when they listened to that message, I said, wow, if we have to go through leadership, we'll have to go through renewal, and we'll have to suffer that hardship. Well, that was not true at all. So the reason I'm giving you this example is I myself held it with conviction, and I shared that story with deep passion, only to be found out that that was not the truth.
Yeah.
So now what I do is, and I can tell you one thing, the internet is definitely not a reliable source, because a whole lot of
Yes, you have 10 evidences
so
for one.
I have to make sure that there is truth, there is counter truth, there is twisted truth. Which one is it? So I go back to the source.
Okay.
If the source is just the World Wide Web, if the source is only the WhatsApp, well, I don't want to bother. I will go to the source and then see, and that is the source of the company, not source Scientific American, I mean, that person can put whatever. I'll go back to the Scientific American site. I'll go back to the National Geographic site and see if that is the thing. So I have a responsibility when I forward. In fact, I will go to the other extent. If I am an administrator in any group, I share the responsibility with other people. So what policy decision I've taken is a large number of the groups are participating in discussions that is not even remotely connected to the primary purpose for which
the group.
was set up. That group was not set up to be for a particular government or against a particular government. That group was not set up to be social or anti-social. The group was set up for a particular cause.
Okay.
If the messages in the group are meeting that cause, so be it, I'll read it. And I've muted myself from many groups, even though in one or two I'm even co-administrator, as when I'm not going to be in that.
Thank you, Anand. Thank you, LT, for bringing that very relevant thought to us today. We're part of many groups, and irrespective of the fact that whether you're a part of the cp&bf or not, I'm sure you still have a WhatsApp account. So if you do, here's a little quick action that you can. Number 1, stop sending forwards that don't matter to the very purpose of the group. Remember, we're talking truth, we're talking purpose, we're talking goals. Why did God create us? Why did He put us together in this nation called India? If your actions and your words and your forwards build that kingdom, go ahead and do it. I hope this will take us a long way in establishing the kingdom of God here on earth. Thank you for joining us, and see you soon again.
Thank you.